The Ranch Rolodex is where ranching, business, and relationships come together. Hosted by Derek Jackson, Zach Hopson, and Daniel Unruh, the show is built around conversations with the people who know what it means to start from nothing and build something real. Every episode pulls a new contact from the Ranch Rolodex, the kind of people you would call when there's a problem to solve, a deal to make, or wisdom to pass down. Welcome to the Ranch Rolodex.
Welcome to the very first episode of the Ranch Rolodex podcast.
How's it going, guys? This is kind of a passion that us three have shared for a little while, and we've been very fortunate to make some life changing relationships. And we kind of the three of us saw an opportunity in the space of a podcast to kind of talk about our stories and have people on that have changed our lives and hope that we can help somebody else in the same situation possibly change the trajectory of their life. Because Daniel, Derek, and I, we've been good friends now for a couple of years, and just us three knowing each other have we've done business together. We've become extremely close, and we are we've all moved the needle on our businesses because of that. And so we think there's a lot of potential to do that for a lot of other people.
Yeah, man. Every time that something good has happened for me, it's been the intersection of, trying to do the best you can and then also an opportunity, which is sometimes out of your control. But, and every time it's included people, people that have said, oh, I know a guy that can help you, or somebody that's been like, yeah, let me help you in this way, or somebody that's been like, no, I tried that once and it didn't work. And I think that we we've all done enough of that where it's like, first of all, let me tell you the things that we did that didn't work, and
We have
then
plenty of those
maybe,
stories.
yeah, right, right, and so yeah, I think that that's good that there's a little bit of that we can share, but then there's a whole lot of people that have helped us along the way that we can share.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is that some of those things that we've done, people told us not to do. We just go ahead and do it anyways,
Yeah,
just to find out ourselves.
Anybody that hadn't that hears this has never been to one of Wally Olson's schools. Uh, his Yes, you're going to learn about trading cows and sell by and everything, but he preaches about relationships more than anything. And
yeah,
until you build relationships, um, you do not understand how important that is.
yeah,
I would have never in a million years thought I'd have had cattle turned out in Kansas.
Mhm.
You know, here we are. We got cattle turned out in Kansas. We got had cattle turned out down at the coast last year. It's I would if you'd have told me 3 years ago that we would have, you know, been running cows in several different states, I would have thought you're crazy because I used to think I had to oversee every single one of them. And
yeah,
go to Wally's school, meet Wally. He's a great guy. He's a friend of all three of ours. Um, but he preaches relationships, and that is what we're here for. Relationships have changed our three lives, so we're hoping that we can help do that for other people and, you know, build more relationships for us three. I guess we may be at a good spot to just kind of give a little rundown about ourselves. I'll go, or Daniel, Derek, when y'all want to go first?
no, I don't.
All right, I'll do a little rundown on myself, and I'm kind of a first generation guy. My grandpa had cows, and my dad had a couple. But I guess you could say I'm a first generation because my dad gave me one cow, and I think she died whenever I was about 13. Um, but I'm in East Texas. Primarily operate on lease ground. Got lease ground on probably 4 different counties surrounding Nacogdoches County. Um, we've got cattle turned out in Kansas, uh, some at Daniel's place, some at Derek's place. Um, and that's just kind of how, I started, I think in 2009 or 10, I went to my banker and borrowed like $15,000 and bought like I think 7 or 8 pairs and some bread cows and leased a little spot down the road. And never would have thought this is what it would have, turned into. But I think I just heard too many people say, "Oh, you can't make a living in the cow business in East Texas," and I guess it just kind of pushed me to try to prove them wrong. And it's been a journey to get here, and a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of downs. Here recently, I've lost probably I don't know 1,500 acres of lease ground in the last year and a half, which in East Texas is quite a bit of acreage. Um, and if I didn't have the circle of guys that I have with these two, and the RFP and everything, I would have probably been pretty down and out about that. Because I'd have thought, man, this is it. Everything I've worked for got, lost all this ground. What am I going to do? But man, just you got to have a positive mindset and just kind of pivot and find guys you can kick stuff out with. And uh, I think I've actually got more cows now after losing the 1,500 acres of ground than I did then, and just lost some more the other day. And hey, it is what it is. We're just gonna roll with it, and stuff will come up. You just got to stay positive and keep moving forward and not dwell on it. And so that's kind of my story. I run right now, or 585 to 600, somewhere in there. Um, Breeding females, I guess you'd say. Not all cow calf, quite a bit of heifers that will sell this fall or something uh, that we've been putting together up north. And uh, but that's pretty much it about me. I've got 3 kids and a wife, and it's every day's a adventure. So
Dan, you're up.
Oh, I gotta go. No, my story is pretty. I don't know. I'd say about just like everybody else's. Um, I guess I could almost be called the fourth generation ranch. Um, my great grandpa started one in Oklahoma. My grandpa ran it. My mom and my dad kind of bought into it, so it'd be the third generation. And then, kind of how they always say, the first generation builds it, the second generation runs it, and the third generation loses it. And that's pretty much what happened with ours. So I set kind of out on my own. Met my wife when we were in college. Her family had a little bit of ground back when we moved after we graduated college. Came back here. Thought we'd do the family operation thing. We did that for, oh man, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years. Kind of got tired of getting to run around on things and getting short end of the stick on things, and so then we went to RFP, and that pretty much changed our trajectory and changed things for the better for us. So now we used to be cow calf. Now we're pretty much strictly sell by. We do anything from stalkers to replacement heifers to we got some cow calf pairs right now. We do a lot of custom grazing. We do a lot of custom calving. We do a lot of custom work now. So we're not really afraid to do something that's out of the norm that no one else would want to do, because it's been great for us. So it's been quite an
Just
interesting
getting
journey the
started.
last
that's
what is it,
right.
3 4 years. So uh, just getting started. Yeah, yeah. Went from how do we make this family thing work to all right, well, see you later. We're going out on our own. And, I mean, and we're doing all this on, like, we own 14 acres. That's all we own, but we're running Written, I added up the other day. Written 900. We got, then we here at the house we got another 300 that we run on as well. So um, whatever that is, 1,200 acres. What we're currently
Yep.
at right now. So, but like I said, we only own 14 of it, and if you know, like it, it always it's kind of funny because it's the thing of you'll only be able to ranch through the womb, through the tomb, or through the altar. Yeah, that I've crushed that theory. So, but that just puts the paradigm to rest of you can't do it. Um, I've found ways to do it, and I don't own hardly any of the cattle. I mean, we own you know some of them, but we don't own the majority of the cattle that I run. Um, but it's just that paradigm. It's just like, well, you got to own them. Yeah, you'll make more money owning them, but you can make a damn good living doing custom work and be your own boss, and still make a damn good living doing it. And that ranching for profit was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I mean, I suck with I before I went to I mean I was absolutely terrible with numbers. I'm not going to say I'm very good at them with now, but you know I, I'm a hell of a lot better at them now than I was, and they're fun. No one likes math, but and I was one of those guys, and now I'm like, I mean, I've got notepads. It's just got math written all over them, and Ellie gets mad at me sometimes because she's like, "Man, there's 8 notepads here, and every page in them's got
Yeah,
you know just
he's good at
Right.
math now.
you know
We've had him in the
calculations,
sale barn buying stuff, and he'll run his numbers, and we pivot on what we're buying. We One day we were going to buy cutter bulls, and he wound up buying a load of heifers. That the math just he was doing the math on the fly, and texted Derek and I and said, "Hey, these work. Let's buy them." And hey, we trust him. Let's buy them.
Go for it.
So he don't let him lie to you. He can run some numbers because he does it while sitting there in the barn. So
so that's just, I mean, those are just the things that's built, our operation. And like I said, you know, it, that paradigm, whatever paradigm you have, like it can be, and it doesn't matter if you're, you know, on the West Coast, the East Coast, Midwest, like
yep.
all this stuff has its place, and it will work anywhere if you literally just give it a try, keep an open mind, and actually,
Yeah, and I think
try
that
it
the thing
out.
that makes it work anywhere is that it's not a prescription, you know? It's just a set of principles. Like when you talk about increasing profit and it's like, well, you got about 3 things you can do. You can reduce your overheads, you can increase your gross margin per unit, and you can increase
Turnover.
turnover. Yeah. And so that's applicable in every environment with every business and yeah, so that's what makes all that stuff, not all of it, but some of that stuff is applicable everywhere because it's not specific, and it's not like you got to run this type of cow and you got to calve it this time of year you
Yep.
know
And that's the great thing about what Ranching for Profit teaches you is just, hey, like this isn't a prescription. Like this is just the fundamentals. Like this is just take them home, apply them, and it'll work. You just got to have the discipline to go and keep at it because it wasn't easy. I mean, trust me, it was not easy because we came back from that deal and we sold all the cows that we had. I mean,
And y'all had some cows that y'all were really fond of in that
yeah.
group, if I remember correctly.
oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, them things have been. She picked them out in 2012, I believe. And I mean, them genetics went back a ways, and
Yeah.
Yeah, but we came home, we sold every one of them. We're like, "See ya," and we went to turning cattle pretty quick after thereafter, and, because that was the deal, it was just like, "Well, where are we gonna come up with the money to do this?" And I don't remember, I don't remember where I was. It might have been here, or it might have been at an EL meeting or something, and one day the light bulb just clicked. I was like,
Yeah,
There
I
you
think it
go.
was an
"We got
EL
the money.
meeting.
It's just it's in cattle right now," you know? So
Yeah.
there's your money. Like, sell them, you got your money, and, go buy something else, and, we did, and
I'm pretty sure that was a spring EL meeting or winter. It was a winter email EL meeting when we made that
yeah,
realization.
yeah. So, we did, and we just kinda kept turning the crank and been after it ever since, and that custom work, man, that's been just hands down. I mean, we're set up to do a lot of things here. Ellie being a vet, with both of our, knowledge and both hers in the vet deal and mine in the ranching part of it. And I mean, we're set up to do just about anything. And man, that custom work, that stuff is pretty nice.
Shoot, yeah.
So
Well, I love your story and how fast you went from never would have thought you were gonna, leave your career, uh, to now here it is, and I can't wait for as some more episodes come out, us talking more about that and going in depth on it and just how you've done it so quickly. And so I think that's something we'll definitely share as we put out some more of these things. But well, Derek, I guess let's get a little rundown on your operation, and then I kind of got an idea of something we can do after you do
Okay.
that to kind of maybe wrap it up and
Yeah,
uh,
you bet.
and throw you to a question I've been sitting here thinking about.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah, yeah, something juicy to end on.
I'm the structure guy, right? It's like, let's have an outline and let's plan this all out and everything like that. And we started this thing, and y'all are like, let's just wing it. Let's just visit. And yeah, so now Zach has come up with a secret question for the end of it, in the last however many minutes we've been talking. So that should be fun. Well, anyways,
I'm ADD over here, so my
yeah,
mind is running,
I
son.
see
It's
you over there.
running.
He's like, squirrel, that creek, is that noise?
Uh-huh. Well, give us a
Anyways,
rundown on
it's probably gonna be some question of when's the last time you seen something orange.
these
No, it's
guys.
gonna be good. It's gonna make y'all think.
Okay.
Well, give
All
us
right.
give us a rundown,
Well,
Derek.
yeah, Derek Jackson. We're in the we're in the Flint Hills, and grew up here. And I don't think I knew how good I had it here until I left. And left is relative. I didn't really go that far, but in college and internships and stuff, I did travel around a little bit and see some other places, and then found out that I wanted to come back. And when I came back, and Carrie and I started putting some cows together and doing some stuff. That's when I really started to fall in love with the Flint Hills and grazing and business and the whole cattle thing. And so, um, yeah, and it was all a lot of that was because of people. And I can remember probably the first thing that we went to was a Kansas Grazing Land Coalition uh, Tallgrass Prairie Range School, and some of the guys there, man, they're just forward thinkers. They're not boxed in by anybody's paradigm, and that really got me going. So then after that, like I said, we went to ranching for profit a couple of times and got involved in executive link and there again, it's like the content is great, but again, it's the people and the relationships and stuff. Because y'all talked about people at ranching for profit. I remember the first time that I went in Dallas, I think it was 2019, and it was like second or third day, and somebody stood up and said, we've been here 3 days and not a single person has complained about the weather or about the markets or about, anything. And you're right. It's just to be in a room full of people that take accountability for what they can have an impact on, you know, and want to figure out what they're doing wrong, what they're doing right, and move on. It's like, man, you need to get in those rooms. And so, yeah, did that. Went to a couple of Wally schools and really just started to get acquainted with people even around home that kind of had that mindset. And so that is what has introduced me to most of the people that we're going to bring to you as far as the people that have had an impact on my life and as far as mentorship or business or ranching or anything like that. um, I've met them through putting, kind of getting out there and trying to learn and trying to better yourselves a little bit.
Awesome.
i could
So
i
yeah,
tried to I tried to write a bunch of names here, and it's like I'd never get through all of them. A bunch of names. And it doesn't matter, like,
no,
it doesn't matter who it was. What matters is that my life, was one way, or the ranch was one way, or the way I thought about ranching was one way, and it changed. And
yep,
this is the person that helped facilitate that change. And it's like you guys was talking about, um, Zach, when you were like, "Well, I never thought I'd have" that's my Zach voice. "Well, I never thought I'd had cattle in Kansas." So listen, because of ranching for profit, I have thought about cattle that same type of way. Because when we started, and again, I think that ranchers, um, two of the biggest setbacks that ranchers have are an emotional attachment to land ownership and an emotional attachment to cattle.
yeah,
And that's not inherently wrong, but I think it can hinder the growth of a business because when we started, it was like I had some of my family, I think one time it was like there's a orphan calf and it was like, well, if you can keep this calf alive, you can have it. And that was kind of the start of things and la di da. And then with Carrie's family, we bought some bred heifers and got gifted some and got a bunch of help that away. And her dad was into registered stuff and we got, jazzed up and into registered stuff and there's nothing wrong with it. But when we started looking at the business, it was like, well, I think this thing requires a little less overheads or this thing is a little more efficient enterprise or whatever. And that has caused us to kind of move, as we've gone through the years. And and then you find out in your circumstances what works and what doesn't. And, we found out that fall calving doesn't work where we're at. And we found out that calving in January is not really even that good. And we keep moving that back. And then, you know, I thought here lately, it's like, does a calf even have to be born here? You know?
nope,
And can we use our resources in some type of better way and really heifer development is something that we enjoy doing and that we're kind of set up to do. And so I've been looking at the numbers and it's like, well, if we sold all the cattle that we own and use that to borrow some money and buy cattle to put out with somebody else, and then just used all of our acres for, custom work like Daniel talked about in heifer development, how much more efficient would the business be? And all of that type of stuff is a product of the people that have helped change the way I view things and think about things. Yeah, and so that's the type of things we want to share with people is the people that have helped us that way, and hopefully they can help you like they've helped us.
awesome. Yeah. So as I was sitting here thinking, I guess I got a question for each of you. What do you hope to accomplish um, with this podcast? Do you hope um, to move the needle for somebody? Do you hope to, um, change somebody's life? Like just something for people to just listen to when they're riding down the road in the truck. Like what do y'all want us to accomplish with the Ranch Rolodex?
Dan, take it away. I'll piggyback and copy off your answers.
Man, honestly, it's giving back for me. And if it wasn't for those people that answered all those questions for me or sent me to somebody else to get my answers or, you know, help, I mean, you two, hey, I need 50 head to fill this this grass. Okay. Well, you want to buy them and we'll just put them out. It, you know, it's giving back that I truly hope that if anything, if it just helps one person achieve what they wanted, you know, I'd be ecstatic because like I said, there's multiple people that have helped me, answered all my questions, talked to me on the phones, gave their time to me out of their day when they could be out doing something else productive on their own operation to help me be successful in mine. So that would be
I
my
love it.
my
Yeah,
hope for this
man, and I
podcast.
think part of the thing that I've enjoyed about the conversation so far is that it's real, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's I mean, there's no this is not a place where we get together and say, "Well, I own 10,000 acres and I run this many cow." You know what I mean? Like I just appreciate that
That's
Dan's
our
like, "Yeah,
dream. That's our
well, right,
goal.
right. Maybe yeah, a few years we can come back and tell them how to do that. Haven't figured it out
Yeah.
yet. But anyways, but when like Dan can say, "Hey, listen, we're doing it, and
Yep.
we own 14 acres," and so everybody out there that thinks that you got to own the whole ranch, you don't. And here's a guy that can prove it to you. And so I think that there's a part of that that's genuine that I appreciate. But then also like, listen, guys, it is 10:44 on Sunday evening, and we're like recording a podcast. We're all donating our time and money to get this podcast out there. So when Dan's like, we want to give back, it's not some frou frou like, that sounds like the right thing to say. It's like generally like we are together here. We're thankful for people that have helped us along the way. We want to try to help people if we can. And if I can't, I want to introduce you to people that help me. And that's the premise of the whole deal. And so
Yep.
yeah, I just piggyback off of Dan, say the same thing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're trying to put out any knowledge that we've got from screwing up and introduce you to people that have made things a whole lot better for us
Yeah,
and
and
make
I
fun of Zach.
there we go. Hey, I'm here for it. That's what people do all the time. Uh, no, man, I'm right there with y'all. We don't have it figured out by any means. We've we are not afraid to try something new. We're not afraid to uh, see what works and see what doesn't. You just keep that ball rolling, stay positive. Um, don't let negative people in your life or people that aren't that don't want you to be successful because there's going to be more people around you that want you to fail than there are people that want you to succeed. And I think what I hope people get out of this is um, the people that you keep in your circle matter so much more than you realize. If you have people that are truly in your corner and want you to be successful and want to be successful with you and want to, go to the top with you, those people will do anything for you to make sure you're successful. And you'll do the same for them. Um, man, the relationship I have with these two guys, I wouldn't be afraid to do anything with them. Um, but it's I can't say that to a lot of people that I know, you know, locally. I just because so many people want you to fail. Um, and so that's just what I want. I don't want anybody to be, ashamed to try something new or afraid to try something new. Because if you don't try, man, you'll never know. And there's a big world out there. You don't have to look at your cattle every day. Uh, I had some last year in Kansas I never even saw, and there's nothing wrong with that. So don't
Dan
be
did a
afraid to
pretty good
try
job with
something.
those, didn't he?
He did phenomenal. He did an excellent job. We made good money on him, and uh, just you know, I never laid eyes on him. So that's just change your paradigm.
Never in my world did I think I was ever going to become a cattle buyer either.
Yes, sir. But it's just it's a journey, and we hope y'all come along with us on it. So.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Ranch Rolodex. If this episode brought you any value, subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who would benefit from it. Until next time, we hope you learn from those ahead of you, encourage those beside you, and invest in those behind you.